Welcome back, beautiful people. It's your TTA Pro, Mr. O, back with another episode. Today احنا هناخد مع بعض comma rules. Now, احنا خلصنا أساسا comma rules وخدنا comma rules. وخدنا comma rules is a from the other lessons, from the dependent clauses. So we've already taken comma rules and we finished all these comma rules. بس دلوقتي هنراجع عليهم so that way we can understand when do I correctly use a comma. Now, before I begin, عايز أقول لكم حاجة, a couple of things. Don't forget fragments, comma fragment. Remember, fragment طول عمره غلط. It breaks the sentence. It breaks the sentence. So what is a comma fragment? Subject, comma verb, verb, comma object, adjective, comma noun, comma that, and comma preposition. Remember these are commonly incorrect structures. وفي حاجة بقى عايزين نزود على most common wrong answer, وده حاجة اسمها the comma splice, or I like to call it a comma splice. How does this appear? Independent, comma independent. You can never have a comma لوحدها كده between two independent ideas. طول عمره هيبقى غلط, right? This is why ما يجي يشوف سؤال punctuation, أول حاجة بنعملها بننيل independent ideas, وأول لما نلاقي اتنين ما بينهم comma مش فارقة بقى في dependent ولا لأ, أهم حاجة لو لقيت اتنين بالcomma, these are probably incorrect, right? So let's review some of these rules بالنسبة للcomma. بعد ما نخلص rules, we're going to see real questions. والquestions دولت هيوريكوا comma questions appear how. بس احنا خلاص خدنا اغلبها, by the way, right? We've taken a lot of these. So for اول حاجة introductory elements. So نيجي اعمل introductory clause, وهو introductory clause وخدناهم. فاكرين ال dependent ideas اللي بيبدأ بالconjunction, since or because, for example. لو بيبدأ ing phrase, لو بيبدأ بالappositive, خدناه لسه الدرس اللي فات, non-essential clause. لو بيبدأ بإيه كمان يا شباب, مثلا prepositional phrase. So if I begin a sentence with an introductory phrase, ودايما بيبقى dependent, لازم يجي بالcomma وبعد كده subject and verb. Like for example here, after the game ended, comma, the fans rushed onto the field to celebrate the victory. You have a dependent clause, comma, independent. لازم نفصل ما بينهم. That's why it's important برضو pay attention to the dependent ideas. Another way it comes, comma, fanboys, right? Comma, but, comma, so, comma, and, comma, yet, right? These are very common. So بيجي بالcomma fanboys وبنقول comma fanboys, right? So بنستخدمها امتى? When you have an independent idea and then comma fanboys and then an independent idea. This is when it's correct. Remember this, احفظوها. I love playing video games, comma fanboys. My sister prefers reading books. The restaurant had great reviews online, comma fanboys. We decided to try it out. Another time بنستخدم comma in a list or series, and we've taken this, right? So لو عندي list, it's called the comma list. The Olympic flag has 5 colors: blue, comma, yellow, comma, black, comma, green, comma, and red. There's nothing new here. هل احنا بنقول أي حاجة جديدة? No, right? We've taken all of these. A little bit rarer, comma بالcoordinate adjective. So coordinate adjective معناها adjectives شبه بعض, or adjectives في نفس level. وهنعرف ازاي. There's a test you can do, okay? When 2 or more adjectives independently describe a noun, separate with commas. So meaning, if you can put the word and between the adjectives or rearrange their order, use commas, okay? Use commas. For example, هنا, it was a dark, comma, stormy, comma, terrifying night. This is an adjective, this is an adjective, this is an adjective. Now, لو أقدر أقول dark and stormy, ينفع نقول comma. لو أقدر أقول stormy and terrifying, نستخدم الكوما. لو أقدر أغير ترتيب الليستة. For example, it was terrifying, dark, stormy night. It was a stormy, terrifying, dark night. That means I can use a comma. Or here's another example. The majestic, towering redwoods took our breath away. Now here you're شايفين comma within adjectives, right? So ask myself, well, accommodate صح ولا غلط؟ هستخدم كلمة and. The majestic and towering redwoods. Yeah. So a comma مقبول. بس ما ينفعش استخدم and. For example, I bought a shiny new red bicycle. So I bought a shiny and new. Well, no, you don't say that. They're not equal. New and red. هل بنقول كده? I bought a new and red car. No, we say I bought a new red car. صح? So that's why it's unacceptable here. So that's the test you use. لو لقيت adjective بسأل نفسي comma ولا لا؟ هبدلها بكلمة and. If I can use and, I can use a comma. If I cannot use and, I cannot use a comma. Non-essential elements. عارفينها ولا لا؟ خلاص عارفينها. خدناها الدرس اللي فات. Non-essential clauses. Subject, comma, verb structure. So لو عندي subject to verb ممكن أحط double comma بينهم. That's okay. It's a كوبري. Transitional words and phrases. This actually won't come, believe it or not. مش هيسألوا في الكاما. كانوا بيسألوا في الكاما بس بطلوا يسألوا في الكاما آخر 5 سنين. I don't teach this anymore. Number 7, quotations. Use a comma to introduce or interrupt a direct quotation. Direct quotation يعني حد بيكلم مش أي quotation. It needs to be direct. Part of direct is زي في said, for example. The secret to success, said the wise old mentor, is never give up. Okay. بحط comma في الآخر قبل الكوتيشن بيقفل. ولو if I open the quotation في البداية الكاما برا. So in the beginning of the quotation, comma out. In the end, comma in. Okay, just remember that. Dates and places. This is usually a tricky thing for a lot of people. لو عندي date or place مش بس بحطها ما بينهم بحطها في الآخر برضو. So a lot of people don't know this rule. They are planning a trip to Kyoto, comma, Japan, comma. City, country, comma. It's not just ما بينهم برضو it's afterwards. So remember that too عشان some people actually get confused with that one. When not to use commas, avoiding common mistakes. Okay, خلاص قلنا the common mistake before the preposition. زي هنا comma in the world. بالنسبة 95% this is usually incorrect. Okay? Between an adjective and noun برضو. Right? احنا قلنا كده في بداية الحصة. The International Space Station is a cutting-edge, comma, scientific laboratory. This is an adjective, this is an adjective, this is a noun. When بلاقي comma بين two adjectives, so بسأل نفسي أقدر أقول cutting edge and scientific? No. So I can't put a comma. It's a fragment now. ده كده بحط comma بين الadjective والnoun. Before or after that, usually that قبليها بيبقى غلط. Comma that. وضربنا عليها. ممكن comma that, but not just comma that. Just remember that. طبعا between subject and verb. This is the biggest one هتشوفوها. The rapid advancements of quantum computing and machine learning, comma, are reshaping our understanding, right? So a whole subject, a whole verb, ما ينفعش comma واحدة من بينهم مهما كان location of the comma. Another common mistake, compound nouns, verbs, or adjectives. So انتوا عارفين كلمة and. لو and بيربط كلمتين مع بعض ده مش جديد خدناه في parallelism ما ينفعش نحط comma. comma بيجي لو عندي list, comma, and, or لو عندي independent, comma, and independent. But between two words is unacceptable. Like for example, renewable energy sources like solar, comma, and wind power. And hina combines these two, so we can't use the comma. Before around self words, right? So myself, yourself, itself, himself, themselves. ما يتحطش comma ولا قبليها ولا بعديها. How to fix comma fragments? Remove the comma. موضوع سهل, right? موضوع سهل. Now, lots of rules أنا عارف. Just simplify الموضوع شوية. How can I simplify the situation? By saying, well, أنا دلوقتي بتعامل مع السؤال الكاما فأول حاجة إحنا بنعملها بندور على fragments. Those are easy to identify. وبندور على comma splices. So let's practice together actually. Let's get it together. Let me just do my thing here. Chicken wing. All right. So let's begin here. We're going to see some comma-based questions, right? We're going to see comma-based questions. Now, again, these are real questions, these are real style questions هتشوفوها هيجي على نفس المستوى ده on your actual test, right? So here's the question, right? شايفين هنا image, period, we. Well, of course. So this is a punctuation question. بعمل ايه؟ ببدأ من بداية الجملة لحد النهاية. These are two sentences, right? So for example, I see that هنا في period وفي comma وفي we وفي comma while. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to read. Her much photographed face remains a familiar image. This is an independent idea. We may never know what happened to her. This is an independent idea. So إجابة A ممكن مش أخدت الرول مش متأكد بيها. But look at answer B. Is it acceptable نحط comma between two independent ideas? Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable? Yes or no? No. So I eliminate answer B. I know the rule. ينفع ما نحطش حاجة؟ برضو no. احنا قلنا دايما separate ideas. This is a tricky one. ينفع نحط comma while? Right? No. while ما بيجيش بالكاما. اغلب الوقت الكونجنكشن لو جاي في نص الجمله اغلب الوقت مش ياخد كاما. ممكن نستخدم كاما while بس it's not used on the test and it's not common and 95% of the time مش هنلاقي punctuation بالconjunction. My answer is A. So by simply identifying فين independent ideas, I can identify what the answer is. Now look at this one, for example, right? Look at this one. Outside, the air was frigid. Inside, the 33 students were bursting with energy and ignoring their lessons. أنا عايز أركز على حاجة. Here it gives me a comma. Here it gives me a comma. Here it gives me a period. لما يديني punctuation بالتشكيلة ديت بستخدم إيه؟ بركز على punctuation. بركز على independent ideas الأول. So I want you guys to read this. I want you just to tell me how many independent ideas are there? Hema, how many independent ideas are in this sentence? Adil, no? Alia, good? Selma, good? When you simplify what you're looking for, then you make it easier on yourself to identify what's correct. والباقي ما حدش هيقول لي؟ مالك مش هتقول لي؟ جنى مش هتقولي لي؟ ولا عايزين حلو خلاص, right? جنى, no? Right? How do we find independent ideas? We find the subject and verb. Right? That's how we find the independent ideals. We'll find it through the subject and the verb. Okay. So how many do we have? We have two. The air was frigid inside. The 33 students, the air was frigid. The 33 students were bursting with energy. We have two. Can I use a comma? Is it acceptable to use this comma? Is it acceptable to use this comma? Is it acceptable to use a comma between two independent ideas? No. By knowing this, I eliminate A with C. ما احطش حاجة برضو. You have two independent ideas. يعني ينفع ما نحطش حاجة ما بينهم برضو. No. So now you're left with answer D. So by understanding comma rules and understanding fragments, you'll be able to understand how to find the answer. Okay? Question number 35. Which one is not acceptable? So بيسألونا هنا which answer is wrong. I want you guys to try this on your own. ابعتوا لي الإجابة في الشات. That's unacceptable, Malik. Okay. I see your answer. Okay, Adil, good. Okay, Ali, I see your answer. So let's begin with reading this sentence. Selma, good. Let's begin with reading this sentence. Jen, okay, I see your answer. Let's begin with reading the sentence. How many independent ideas are in the sentence? That's what you have to think about. When you're reading this answer, you have to think about how many independent ideas are in this sentence. We see only one, right? Adi, the teacher was a physical education instructor and an ordained minister. Look at answer A دلوقتي. There's a change. How many independent ideas are in answer A? Come now, be quick. There are two. أول واحد يقول لي أنا هقول لكم right عشان زودنا بقى السبجect وverb جديد. How many independent ideas are in answer B? There's also two. زودنا subject وverb جديد وحطينا comma. How many independent ideas are in answer C? We also see two. صح؟ زودنا subject and verb جديد. He was. How many in D? برضو two. Naismith was. Which one is unacceptable? Answer B. ينفعش نحط comma between two independent ideas. Answer A. وبرضه لو shortcut برضه أوريكم حكاية كده صغيرة. لو عندي two independent ideas البيريد والسيميكولون زي بعض. By the way, they cancel بعض. Okay, let's try another one. Number 30 and number 44. Look at this sentence. How many independent ideas are in this sentence? قبل ما نحل أنا عارف the punctuation عشان في إجابة فيها punctuation. طالما بيديني إجابة في punctuation, that means because ما ينفعش comma between two independent ideas, Mr. Malik. Where's the question? It's the same reason. It's the same reason over and over and over again. Okay? If I have two independent ideas, a comma بتيجي غلط يا إما fragment يا إما independent idea يا إما comma splice. Those are the only time it comes incorrect. Okay, Selma and Alia. How many independent ideas are in this sentence? يا عادل. طيب, how is answer A an acceptable answer? How is answer A an acceptable answer? Think about that. طيب, Jannah, Malik, Salma. Salma قالت لي. Salma and Ali قالوا لي. How many independent ideas are there, guys? You're thinking too much. You're thinking too much, guys. Players then dribbled the ball, aimed at the baskets, and scored points. Independent idea. His students loved the new sport. Independent idea. مفيش حاجة ما بينهم. لازم نحط punctuation ما بينهم. So F is wrong. F is a run-on sentence. F is a run-on sentence. G ما غيرناش حاجة على فكرة. لسه عندنا ال subject to verb. His students loved. So it's also a run-on sentence. H ما حطيناش حاجة برضو. Answer J. Right? البيريد بيجي between two independent ideas. لسه ما خدناهاش officially بس هناخدها الحصة الجاية. It's a simple rule. Two independent ideas, period, semicolon. Or comma fanboys. Okay? Let's try another one here. Look at this one. I know it's punctuation, comma here, comma here, comma here. You have to identify how many independent ideas are in the sentence. And then we identify ايه هو أحسن punctuation على أساس ال independent ideas دولت. Use elimination. Focus on what you know. Selma, good. Jannah, no. Malik, good. Adil, no. It's the same problem. Adil and Jannah and Alia. How many independent ideas are in the sentence, ya shabab? Adil, you're having this is a big problem يا عادل. انت بتحدد ال independent idea على اساس ايه يا عادل؟ طيب identify them for me. طيب يا علي and Jannah, how many independent ideas are in this sentence? That's not a subject and verb يا عادل, right? A subject is an action. Okay, عليا طالما انت عارفه كده ازاي تقولي لي اجابتك؟ It can never work. جنى ما قلتليش. So we said we find the subject and verb. Some subject does action. The dead tree was. So this is a to be verb. It continued. So we have two independent ideas. Okay. So we can't use a comma. It's unacceptable. comma لوحدها ما ينفعش ما نحطش حاجة. واحنا خدنا في الدرس اللي فات عن comma transition. قلنا ده غلط صح؟ فاكرين في درس ال conjunctions? This is a transition. Answer D. So this is one of the rare cases where عندي comma conjunction. But it's okay. وقلب الconjunction على dependent. That's why I tell you use elimination. عشان ممكن انتم مش متأكدين بإجابة D. Maybe you're not sure about it, but you're sure of the other wrong answers. So I tell you, you need to use elimination. Find the mistakes. Let me go through. Let me see some fragments. دلوقتي. These are a lot of comma splices. I want to see some fragments. Okay, let's go to the question before this. Okay, let's see this one here. Okay, let's see this one. Take your time. Hey, Jenna, good. Mala, good. Salman, Adil, good. All right. Easier ones are a bit easier to work with. Good, good, good. Alia, let's make it. Alia, how many independent ideas are in the sentence? Now remember, طالما بيديني punctuation ده underlined or highlighted, لازم أقرأ بقى قبل وبعد. So how many do you read قبل الperiod? For example, يا عالية. Don معناها بلبس. Fins is like something you wear at the beach. I don fins. I'm wearing fins. Mrs. Alia, idea قبل الperiod. After we pull the heavy turtle back to the water, is that an independent idea or is that a dependent idea?
Sorry, mister, I saw it as a comma, not a period.
You sure about that, Alia, bro?
No, I'm serious.
Are you for serious or just one serious? Just one time serious?
No, but like I know my answer is wrong because but I actually didn't see that it's a period. I thought it was a comma.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to your word. Hopefully we don't see the same problem again. ما كان بيسألني على I don fins. Don means to wear. Don means to wear. It also mean a mafia member. Let's try this one. Okay, avoid fragments, huh? No problem, my brew. G and H are the same answer, actually. Actually. So let's say this is a semicolon. G and H are the same answer. Actually. Actually. All right. Selma Malik. Okay, Jannah. Actually, so. Okay, look at this. Where is I'm missing someone. عادل بيستخبى. انت يالا انت فين؟ Okay. What part of speech of this is this? What part of speech is this? فكروا في من ناحية الفراجمنتس. Okay. Now remember لو بستخدم comma أنا بفصل ما بين dependent و independent or dependent when dependent, right? I want you to remember this one thing. Job plus name equals no punctuation. ده أول حاجة. Okay. Job plus name, no punctuation. So for example, Russian physicist, job plus name ما نحطش punctuation. But another way إن عايزاكم تشوفوا السؤال ده, right? Another way إن عايزاكم تشوفوا السؤال ده, adjective, comma, noun. برضو wrong. Correct? Correct. So مهما كان, we're gonna go here with answer H. G نفس الإجابة زي H بس هغيرها كده كده, right? ما نحطش أي حاجة هنا. honey. ما نحطش أي حاجة honey. And let's try another one. Read the sentence in full. Okay? Read the sentence in full. لما تيجي توصل للجزء الكوما الجزء هنا, ask yourself, why do I need commas? على أساس إيه بفصل الحاجات ديت؟ على أساس إيه؟ For what reason though, bruv? You feel me, bruv? Very good job, عادل. Okay, Selma, Jana, Banana, Aliyah. Okay, good. Malik, what do we have here? We have a list, by the way. صح ولا لا؟ صح؟ It does not have any keys, strings, or vowels. مش that list? Keys, strings, or vowels? So how do you divvy up the list? How do you divvy up the list, my brew? You're not gonna tell me how you divvy up the list? Asrar Malik? Come on, key strings though, seriously? But or, right? So here we're gonna say keys, strings, or kaza. We're going here with the answer C. C4. I don't know what C is for, honestly. Here's another one. Another one. Very good job, Jannah Ali. Adil, no. Having a big time problem here. Adil and Selma, no. Selma, how many independent ideas do we have in this sentence, Mabru? Yes, Alia.
Yeah, Mister, to be honest, semicolons confuse me. Because I remember that you said that they're the same as like commas, but
I've
then
never said that in my life.
you just did so you said an example. You didn't say that the whole rule of like semicolons is that they're the same. But you said that in a question, like they're kind of like the same or something like that.
No, we didn't. Never in my
Oh,
life. The semicolon and the period are the same,
okay.
but not the semicolon and the comma, right? So a semicolon. When do you use a period, Malik? When do you use a period? At the end of what? Of the sentence. Okay. Um, okay. You use it for two independent ideas. A comma لا. So there should be no confusion on this point. And if there is confusion, clear it up دلوقتي. The semicolon and the comma are totally two different things, you should be. Okay. So now we're looking at here, we have one independent idea. أول حاجة, as long as even the smallest amount of carbon, this is a dependent idea بسبب الconjunction. يا سلمى. So if we have a conjunction في بداية الجملة, بيجي بعديها comma and then باقي independent idea. So here we're going to say answer H. So don't ever be confused with semicolon. Semicolon لازم يجي with two independent ideas. واحد قبل واحد بعد. We'll take it next class. Let's try 52. Malik, no. Alia and Adil, okay. Jannah and Salma, okay, okay. Okay. Malik, you're having a problem here. عشان انت شفت they needed على اساس ده independent idea. That's why you have to read the full sentence. So even though Libby won the Nobel Prize in 1960, comma, experts realizing, comma, they needed another method. استنوا بس. The experts is the subject. عملوا ايه? They realized. What did they realize? They needed another method. ده الobject, a direct object. So ما ينفعش نحط أي حاجة ما بين الverb وده المفروض يبقى verb والcomma object. That's how we know this is a verb عشان بعديها جاي الobject. It receives the action of the verb. So answer A is a fragment. G is my correct answer. H is a fragment. J is a fragment. Fragment for two reasons. Reason number one, ing مش verb كده ما عندناش verb في الجملة. Reason number two برضو حاطين comma واحدة ما بين الverb والobject. I don't want you overthinking it عشان لو قعدت وعملت overthinking هتسوح نفسي. What we can do is we can identify الأيديا كلها على بعضيها مش بس البيسز. احنا بندور على البيسز عشان يساعدنا نبدأ فين. بس مش شرط الاقي pieces وخلاص. Let's try another one. Another one. Okay. 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 Selma. Okay. Everybody got this wrong. صح. Avoid fragments. So ممكن تكتبوا لي السبجect والverb. So the popular breakfast of bacon and eggs are, historically speaking, a relatively new ba 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 ba. What's the subject? What's the verb? So popular breakfast is the subject, okay? What's the verb? Are. No, I يا جماعة for the 50,000th time بنقول نفس الحاجة. ing words are not verbs. ارحموني بقى, please. They're not verbs. Stop it. What are بقى? The popular breakfast of bacon and eggs are ايه بقى? ايه؟ ايه بقى؟ ايه؟ Are a relatively new tradition. This is the object. This is the object. Okay? So we have a subject, verb, comma, comma, object. جميل. A تنفع. B ناقص الكاما ما تنفعش the fragment. حاطين كاما واحدة ما بين الverb والobject. C تنفع. D ما تنفعش. عشان حاطين كاما واحدة ما بين الverb والobject. فاضلي دلوقتي إجابة A, فاضلي إجابة C. Are is. What is the subject of the verb? Breakfast of bacon and eggs. ده preposition يا جدعان, ده يتشال من الجملة. Okay? Breakfast are, breakfast is. Breakfast is. Answer C. Don't just take it as a walk in the park. It's not easy. Don't approach these questions as if they're easy. مش كده قلت لكم sense مش هتنفع. Okay? Sense مش هتنفع. Let's try again. This one here. Again, find the number of sub-independent ideas الأول. Okay? read the sentence كلها برضو, ما نقراش في نص الجملة وعامل نفسي عامل شبح, عامل جن. Like, make sure you read the full sentence. يا عم عادل. Oh, okay. I was about to say I was gonna punch you in the face. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, no, I'm not, but no, I'm just kidding. Malik good, Jannah no, Selma good. You have to read the full sentence. عالية يا جدعان, يا جزعان. How many independent ideas are in the sentence, يا Mrs. عالية? Mrs. Jannah, اكتبوا لي في الchat. How many do you see? There's a couple of things, red flags. فين التو يا عالية؟ قولي لي في الميكروفون.
مش عارفة يا مستر صراحة.
Then why are you over here telling me two?
Because they're usually two.
That's terrible. That's a terrible way to approach the questions. طيب, how do you identify the independent idea?
By having a subject and a verb.
طيب, جميل. We have an independent idea هنا after the conjunction. So جاية dependent هنا. Comma verb واحدة. Comma verb is a red flag مهما كان. You need double comma verb or no comma verb. وما عندناش double comma. فكده كده إجابة A غلط. My answer is B. My answer is no way. And after being became known. Then who told me D? Okay, Malik and Selma, you're wrong. Sorry, guys. The answer is B. My bad, guys. Late. Bernays gained fame from his application of psychology to business strategy and, comma, after being hired by varied groups and corporations, comma, became. شايفين ازاي هنا شلنا اول حاجة ديت هنا. Bernays gained fame and became. هنا عندنا subject, verb, and comma verb. And هنا بيربط the two verbs دولت مع بعض. Okay, yes, Selma, after the conjunction واحنا مالنا بقى it's dependent. طيب انت قلت لي جابت C D انا اسف. طيب جميل، انت شلتي حطيتي لي كاما صح؟ cool، جميل لحدكم وكل حاجة. What's the difference between B and D? B زود لي and D ما حطش and. Correct? Correct. ده جاي non-essential clause, the ing phrase. So we have the problem of the comma verb. Your answer D لسه بيسيب لي comma verb كده لوحدها، مش بيربط الverb بأي حاجة، مش بيربط الverb بالsubject ولا بأي حاجة تانية. So D is still a fragment because the verb is the problem, the comma verb. So comma قبليها ويتربط مع subject لازم. But D doesn't do that. B does that with the addition of and. All right, beautiful people. We're going to end class now. Do you guys have any questions before we freaking go?
Oh yeah, Master. Laura was telling me to tell you if you could send her the recording of the session since she couldn't attend.
Yeah, but it's going to be uploaded tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Cool. Take care. Bye.